Did it just start recording?
Oh,
Okay,
oh,
whatever. All right.
yeah, it
Anyways,
doesn't matter.
so yeah, so Le Mans. All right, let's go. Record
Yeah,
breaking, behind the scenes. Go.
news. Yeah. So, actually, on Saturday, I feel like there was more like spectators than on Sunday, but
Oh.
because of how drunk they got on Saturday night leading up to Sunday, no one showed up to the race on Sunday, basically,
Oh, that's funny.
which was
So it's
funny. Yeah,
just
yeah.
people were hungover. That's crazy.
No, yeah, it was honestly crazy because like from Thursday, which is like not even riding starts, like the stands were full. The front straights were
Yeah.
full, and they're already doing a whole bunch of events on the track, and you could just hear them. You can hear them like if you're around the track, you can hear like all of the crowd just like cheering and doing crazy stuff, which is honestly it's something, it's a crazy experience because you never see that many people. Well, at least I've never seen that many people grouped together to come watch motorcycle racing.
No, I mean I don't think anyone has because
No,
like
not at all.
it was like a record amount. Now, so
Yeah,
that's weird. So when I do like I've done like Ironman races and like like marathons and stuff, and so
yeah.
there's always like a lot of people there like cheering you on and stuff like that. But obviously I don't have a helmet, I don't have earplugs. I'm just running and they're like right there, right?
Yeah.
Now with you being like in a motorcycle, like do you see that off to the sides or are you like zoned
Uh,
out?
I'm zoned out. While I'm riding, I don't really focus on any of that, but especially on the warm-up lap and on the cool-down lap, I can see all. I always watch all of it, and I always wave because I love to wave and what see
Yeah.
the reactions of some of the fans and stuff. But yeah, I don't see that while I'm riding at all.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I mean, like so for me at least, when I do like those kind of races, like hearing the people like cheer you on and like it's like a vibe that kind of makes you go a little bit
Yeah,
faster,
yeah.
right? So that's why I'm kind of like curious. I was like, interesting. I wonder if like does that like knowing there's a lot of people, does that help you go a little bit
I
faster,
think it
or is
I think it does. I think like subconsciously it probably does something to me like mentally. It's like I obviously don't think like wow there's so many people I need to go fast or wow there's so many people I'm gonna go faster because there's so many I think it's subconscious. It's like this it's just there's so many people that like man I really want to do good here um and do something special.
yeah,
And that's the
that's
little.
nice. That's good. So how is the bike feeling now? So in Le Mans, you had I think you finished like 10th and then 11th and then 10th.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
how's it going with like getting used to the feel?
So honestly, Le Mans was probably the hardest race I've had this season. Um, Compared to like Jerez and obviously Mugello last race. Uh, I don't know. I didn't have the rhythm to be with that front group. I was like right off the back of the front group in both races. I
Mhm.
wasn't in that second group, but I was just right off the back of the front group, and I couldn't. I couldn't stick with their pace because they dropped the pace so much at the end of the race. Um, so yeah, I was struggling quite a lot in that race. I was just trying to get my rhythm and kind of see, like okay, this has how the bike works in these situations, and like let's just try to learn from the mistakes I made and improve them from Magello. But really, for me, Le Mans was like it was a very like recovery race or just like learning race for me.
Okay, nice. What do you mean by recovery race? Were you like injured?
No, no, not recovery, but like to not lose a lot of points.
Oh, I
Like to
see what you're
stay
saying.
high, yeah, yeah, to stay higher
Yeah,
up in the
yeah.
positions.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's cool, dude. So any fun stories about the races, the race one or two in Le Mans?
So actually, race one, obviously I came from Jerez crashing in race one, and
Yeah.
I did not want to crash. But I also wanted to be in the front group, so it's not like I didn't want to push, so I obviously pushed. And on the first lap and the chicane uphill on it, like the first chicane, uh, on the when we flipped right, I ran into the back of someone who was in neutral, and I thought my race was gonna end there, and I was like, no way, this can't like. I hope it. I didn't want to crash like that, especially like
Yeah,
that, you know. That was a crazy moment. I bet you if I had a heart rate monitor on, my heart rate would have spiked to like 200 because I
yeah,
was yeah, that was really nerve-wracking.
yeah. I could see that. What kind of heart rate monitor do you use? Just curious.
I use
Oh, okay,
Polaroid.
cool.
Yeah, I use
Uh,
Polaroid and then Garmin watch.
oh, nice. Me too. I have a Garmin heart rate monitor as long as
Oh,
with
okay.
my Garmin watch.
That's
But
better. That's better.
yeah, you should actually. That's interesting. You should actually wear your heart rate monitor just to kind of see.
Yeah, I actually in this next race I'm gonna look for a spot to put my because the only problem is I have no problem with putting my heart rate monitor on. The problem is where to put my watch to record it. Um,
Oh,
and I'm
oh,
just
you have to have your watch on to like on you to record it.
basically yeah, yeah. It
Oh,
doesn't it
okay.
doesn't do long distances.
Got it.
So I'm kind of trying to look for a place on my suit, but I'll for sure find it.
Yeah,
Uh, but yeah, yeah, I'd really like to like try it and see my heart rate monitor, just try like kind of see what my trainings are like and heart rate, basically probably how much calories I burn. It's not probably like exact, but like kind of in general, everything, which I think it would be really useful.
yeah. I think it would be too, especially if you can like recall parts of the race and you see
Yeah,
exactly like where your heart
yeah,
rate
the
is,
heart rate. Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, that's
that's
true. That would be super interesting. Like if in the beginning of the race, like at the start, I'm like super nervous and that makes me like too tired, or if there's one part that my heart rate goes down and maybe I can push a little bit more.
yeah.
No, no, that's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah. How so I mean, how long are the races usually when you race? Because it's like what 12 lap or I mean, yeah, how many laps is it?
12,
Like 12? Yeah.
yeah, I think it was 14 laps in Le Mans, so that's about like 28 minutes, 29 minutes, more or
Oh wow.
less. Yeah.
So yeah, so you're racing like 30 minutes. How long was the race in Mugello?
I think they all kind of average out to 30 minutes,
To 30
more or
minutes?
less. Yeah.
That's crazy. I think with when I saw the Moto 2 race, either they're super fast, but like the Moto 2 race, their race lasted like 20, it was like 22 minutes
In Magello
in
or
Mugello. Yeah,
wow.
when Joe Roberts won.
Yeah, when Joe run.
Yeah, so I basically I like cycling. You know, I'll get on the trainer and I'll cycle while I watch like the races. So I was like, oh, I'm
Oh
just gonna
wow.
watch. I
That's
was like,
motivational. Yeah, yeah.
right. So I was like, I'm just gonna watch the Moto 2 race because I didn't, I didn't wake up in the morning to watch it. So I just started watching it and I'm just like cycling and I'm like, oh, it's over. It was a good race. And I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. It's over. And then I look down. I'm like, oh, it's only been like 22 minutes. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you
No,
usually
yeah,
you
it
think
was
it's a little bit
actually
longer.
it was really short. Usually they're like 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's
I
what I
think
thought.
I think they got the laps wrong, to be honest, because I don't know, sorry, it was a short race. Because there was some problem. I don't remember exactly what, but it was a shorter race than usual.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense.
Because yeah, because Moto 3 was like 40 minutes, 45 minutes. MotoGP was also about like 50 minutes. So it
Yeah,
was
that's
more or
usually.
less.
I mean, it made that race fun to watch, though. Like the way they
Oh
were
yeah.
battling and stuff. It was pretty
Yeah, yeah.
cool.
I feel like they should do that for Moto 2 and also for MotoGP. Because at the same time where it is, I guess you could say it's cool, like they have to see like the stamina of everyone and who can like maintain their tires the best. But I feel like the best racing is always in the sprint race or in
Yeah,
Moto 3 where it's like it's super close. And I feel like Moto 2 needs to be way closer. And that short race showed that I feel like they should shorten the races a little bit.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean the I love the sprint races now. Like
Oh yeah.
at first I was kind of like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like, why would you want to have a sprint race? But I mean, it kind of like levels out the playing field in a sense because now you see what other people have coming into the race, so
Yeah.
it gives you time to prepare for for the next day for the
Yeah.
actual race. So it's pretty cool. So all right, so Mugello, tell me about Mugello behind the scenes. How did that go?
So honestly, Mugello, I loved it, everything about it. The environment, the track is super beautiful. Like honestly, it's like the most beautiful track I've been to so far, with the mountains in the background and how the track is built on the mountains. It's like it's a whole story, you know. And the elevation is there's honestly like a lot more elevation than I thought. I'd like never really thought because the only track with like real elevation I've been to is Portimao, and
Hmm.
I could say that this track, even though it's not so steep, there's a good amount of like big drops on the track, especially into
Oh,
braking.
really? Okay.
Yeah,
Like when I look at the track, um, it doesn't really seem like there's a lot of elevation.
no, it doesn't, but there's just some corners that are like super steep uphill or super like they drop real fast. Um,
Interesting.
yeah, so no, honestly, everything about last weekend was like super fun for me. Like that's the weekend I've enjoyed the most in a long time. Um, just everything in general. I mean, I had so much fun because we were like right next to Moto E, so we were like watching them go out and we like we're our 10 is like right next to the straight, so we could see MotoGP pass by down the straight at the end of the straight,
Oh, that's
and
sick, man.
yeah, they go so fast. Like you can see them for like 0.5 seconds and they're already braking, you know. It's
Yeah,
something else for real.
that is crazy. That's awesome though. That's cool. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, I'm looking at the like the track map right now. It doesn't really have
yeah.
elevation, but still, like that's pretty that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Um, huh, interesting. I would have never thought elevation. Um, there's some tracks that I feel like there is elevation, like Ring, I think has like
Saxon ring, yeah. A
yeah,
lot.
Ring,
I think
yeah,
so.
has a lot of elevation as well. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's cool. How's the bike feeling with those like long like sweepers and like the chicanes, like sweeping like
I
left to right?
I really like the feeling of the bike in general. I obviously got a little bit too confident with the switches, and in the first race I almost crashed because of that. But
Yeah.
no. Honestly, the bike in general, it like does everything really well. Like to have like as little that I touch it, like it works really well. In general. Yeah, the KTM for me it's the go-to bike. Like just the switches, the fast corners, like everything manages really well. And for me, I think the thing that I've seen the most or felt the most like most comfortable is breaking into corners. The
Mhm.
confidence you can have breaking into corners is crazy. Like you wouldn't even believe when I tell you like the front might be like fully like loaded. The front fork might be like fully loaded, but you still have like full mobility to like enter the
Oh,
corner and cut it tight or pass people. I think the thing that I've seen the most in Mugello, or the thing I felt the most in Mugello is how I could pass people in corners, like into braking. The amount I could close my corners was just so much. I could play with anything, you know, and always have a good line out of the corner. So it's really surprising. It's the KTM is really good.
yeah, that's awesome. All right, so tell me what happened in race one with the you said the chicane.
So well, I'll kind of just go over like quickly through the whole race, so like you
Okay.
can kind of like know what led up to that.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of stuff that happened in that race, and I think so far it's been my best race in my career so far. Obviously, with the ending not the best, but still quite good. So I started. I didn't lose any positions. I gained two, so I was in P10. Um, and then the group broke, but like from the person like right in front of me. And I was kind of like, well, this might go like Le Mans, because Le Mans, when the group broke, even like 7/10 they left. And I was like, oh, I don't want this to happen. So I got to the front of the group of this like of that like second pack ish. Like we were like three guys. Um, I caught up to the front group and I was like, wow, okay, so I have the rhythm to, be here and fight for the podium. And in one of the switches in the second chicane, one person right in front of me had a bike problem, and he like picked up the bike and basically like pick me up too. And there
Uh,
we lost the group again, and I went back to the back of the group I was leading, and there I kind of I didn't I was kind of like lost. I was a little bit frustrated because I had just got to the front group, like not even a lap. I like had just latched on to the front group, like in that corner, and for that to happen like right when I latch on it was a little bit frustrating. But I got my mind already again, and I was like, all right, I'm good. I'm just gonna push to the front because I have nothing to lose. So there's about like 1.5 seconds to the front group, and I just remember I started pushing a lot. I was
yeah,
like, no one else has the rhythm to like pull themselves to the front group, so I'm just gonna do it because I feel super comfortable. So there was about like 5 laps to go, and by 3 laps ago, I had caught the group, so I'm at the back of the group now. And then I started just chilling out. I'm like, all right, let's start preparing for the last lap because obviously I'm in the front group now. There's 7 people in front of me, and that's actually like quite close to the podium. And I was honestly really motivated. And then the last lap, already from the straight, it went like completely opposite from what I planned. You know, um,
yeah.
I got passed down the straight by 2 people, and then I was kind of like, wow, I need to actually like get focused and pass because this is the last lap. There's no more laps, and even if you have rhythm, like you still have to pass like 10 people in front of you. So I was getting a little bit nervous at that point. I started touching a few people, and they obviously it's the last lap, they didn't want to let up either. So it was quite aggressive on that last lap, and I tried to make a risky pass down the hill in the switch, and my front just totally it tucked. It was like, no, you can't enter here.
You
And
can't enter here.
no, my tire was like, nah, man, I don't know what you're trying to do, but this is not possible. And yeah, that's basically what happened leading up to that. I was a little bit like nervous ish because I really wanted the podium because I could see it right there. I was in reach of a podium, and I just got a little bit too anxious, and yeah, I made a mistake. Um, but because I know I made a mistake, because the more I look at it, I could have, for example, waited like literally to the end of that corner to kind of slipstream him up the hill and then pass him up the hill, which would have been like way easier. And then I wouldn't have, I wouldn't have went on to the grass and almost crashed. Um, but yeah, that was basically race one. And then after that, I was kind of like, I'm on the grass. Let's just finish the race calm and make sure I don't like do anything dumb and I don't know crash because the tires were dirty or something. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's how race one finished basically.
Yeah, that's always like a concern of mine too. Is like if you run off or like you get off on
Yeah,
like on the wrong, like on the dirty part of the track,
yeah.
just
I
slipping.
always
Like
I always have like a little bit of like when that happens, if I'm on the dirty part of the track or if I'm on the dirt, I always like that first 5 corners. I'm always like uh uh let's see
yeah,
let's just make sure there's no I don't want to enter into some corner just totally tuck the front, not even touching the brakes because I don't know, who knows, it's too dirty or something. But yeah, yeah,
yeah, nice. I mean, you still ended up finishing what, like 11th?
yeah. Which is
Yeah,
it, well, so it's funny. So it was the exact same position as I finished in race one in Le Mans, and I can tell you that I did not run off the track in Le Mans, and um, also I was not like under a second from the front from most of the race. So yeah, I was quite happy with that finish because I for like going off the track and making a mistake and like being rewarded with still like not the worst position is honestly it's a big save for me.
yeah. Well, yeah, that's good. I mean, yeah, like being able to stay with the front people is, that's important, right? Because that's where I
Yeah,
think that's where you learn the most.
yeah,
That's where you learn how fast, you see the lines that they take, their braking
yeah,
points,
exactly.
their acceleration markers. When you're obviously being on the track, regardless, is you're learning. But when you're riding with faster people right there, it makes it easier.
It's different.
Um,
Yeah.
what about race two? What happened there?
Race two was a disaster. But I mean, the worst part was it wasn't even the bike, you know.
Mm.
It was a bike problem. So like the bike did like quote unquote fail, but it was like from because of something I did. So basically what
Oh,
happened
okay.
was, yeah, basically what happened was in the first few laps, the bike just overheated. Um, and we have a tape that we're supposed to pull, and I like completely forgot about the tape at that moment because the bike just it wouldn't go, you know, like it was I thought it was a motor. I thought like the front brakes were like, I don't know, anything could have happened, and I just did not think about in that moment it could have been that the temperature was too high and the bike was just, it was overheated. And
Yeah.
basically what happened was I just fell off all the way because my bike, I mean, it was just not, it wasn't going because it was just totally overheated. And looking back at it, it was quite frustrating that I had to finish race two like that, especially like, how I finished race one with such good feelings and knowing that I could have done better in race two. Uh, I think it's a shame because I knew I had really good pace, and obviously it's not every day that you have that super good pace where you can catch the front group and battle with them until the last lap. So I was quite frustrated with that, especially from it being my fault. Like one little one little mistake led to like the whole race basically finishing. Um, so yeah, that's how race two kind of went in general.
Dang. Did they say anything? Did they tell you like any of like the technicians or anything? Be like, hey, why didn't you do that? Like, why don't you take that tape
Yeah, they
off?
did. They did.
Oh,
Um, because I was confused. I didn't know that I it was the temperature until they checked my maximum temperature, and it was quite high, to be
dang.
honest. But
Well, I mean,
that's
that's what we do is to learn, right? So
yeah, exactly, exactly.
that's good, man. Um, so what? Any other fun stories that happen in Mugello?
Let's see. I think we have one. I think I have. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, this is funny. So I don't know if you saw the race in MotoGP at the beginning. Like if you watch the like while they're sitting on the grid, um, jets fly by.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
I
literally,
remember. I think
yeah.
I remember.
Okay. So on the track walk, we were doing the track walk. I was kind of like zoned off, or not zoned off, but I was focused on like the track walk and learning the track and basically taking pointers from the rider coach. And I just remember like basically get like my heart stopping, like completely stopping because on the track walk day, the Jets were like testing. They're like just practicing what they were gonna do for the race.
Oh,
And
okay.
man, the Jets are so loud when they pass like right above you. And I just remember I was so freaked out like at that moment. Because I didn't know they were Jets. Because obviously, like when they're coming, you can't hear them. But then once they're like right over you or when they pass, you can hear them. And
Yeah.
it sounded like a thunderstorm or like a gunshots. I don't know what I didn't know what it was at the moment. And I was just freaking out. I was like, oh, what is this? No, but that was really fun. That was a really funny moment because it was really loud.
Nice. Actually kind of funny. Kind of like threw you back in. Like,
Yeah,
oh shit.
that
Yeah,
yeah.
that's cool. Um, yeah, flying is fun, but being in a jet, that's way more G-force than anything I could ever
Oh yeah.
experience.
And because the thing is, they were like doing like weird movements. They're going like upside down. They're doing circles and stuff. And I was like, man, the G4, their faces like
Yeah, like
100%. They're
yeah,
nah.
yeah, I could see
The
that.
G-force, yeah.
I mean, as a racer, you probably feel that too, right? Probably not as intense, but like going into like a corner, like for example, like the last
I'd
turn.
say so.
You
Yeah,
feel that like kind of like where it like sucks you into like the sea, like into your
yeah,
stomach,
or
right?
maybe for me, like, do you know the Arabiata one up the hill in Mugello?
Let me see the track map.
Yeah, it's Arabiata it's something with an A. It's around turn 7 or 8, I think.
Yeah, so 6, 7 is the chicane, and then 8 is the right-hander, 9 is the right-hander.
Yeah, yeah, so 8. 8 is a
Okay.
massive uphill and it's a little bit banked. And like there I can really feel the like a little bit of not obviously not as much as a jet, but I could really feel the G-force.
So if it's uphill, is it like, I mean, since you're doing the right-hand turn, it's like off camber. So
Yeah.
how does like, so when you're going up the hill, do you crest at up above 8, or are you still going up the hill into 9?
So it's kind of like an uphill until 9 and then at 9 it's a crest.
Oh, okay, so at 9, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
dang, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool, actually.
Yeah. Oh, the track is it's something else, to be honest. It's the funnest track I've been to so far.
Yeah, it looks fun. I mean,
Yeah.
it looks like something where it's like you could just have a blast in, and then
Yeah, 100%.
that straight
Oh,
just looks
the straight
crazy.
isn't it's honestly it's amazing. Especially because I went over the the Italian flag, like down the like at the end of the straight, there's like the big like where the pit lane exit is, there's like the big Italian flag, like the stripes and stuff. I went
Oh
over that
yeah,
a
yeah,
few times and that it's something else. It's super cool to go over that.
that's fun. That's cool. 155 miles an hour.
Yeah.
That's not. I mean, that's a zoom in for a it's for a 250.
No, I think
Or is that kilometers? Oh no, that's kilometers an hour. Okay, yeah, yeah.
no, no,
I'm
no. I,
looking
th
at
I think we were going to. Well, my max was 230 kilometers per hour,
230.
230. Yeah.
Interesting. Is this just like last year's then? 2024 race two, Mugello.
I think that might be average top speed.
Oh, is that the
But
average?
maybe
Oh,
if you look
okay.
at like, yeah, might be. Because the average, I don't really know what the average is taking, but
Oh, I see. Yeah, it says kilometers an hour, and it says 154. The fastest person was 154.7. Maybe that is average.
I think so because well, I mean, I maybe I was looking at it wrong, but I think my top speed was 230. But no, I think if the straight, because I don't think you can really see it, but the straight is a little bit uphill. So I feel like if the straight was a little bit more like downhill, we could get like a lot faster.
Uh,
But since it like goes up a little bit, then I think you lose a little bit of time or like
got it.
speed.
Got it. How was it? How was that long lap penalty? How did that go?
Well, actually, they gave it to me on the last lap,
Oh, okay.
and
Oh, so you didn't
yeah,
even need to take it.
no, no, and they just
Oh,
directly gave me yeah, they directly gave me the 3-second penalty.
okay. The okay, so here I found it. So 224, and I think this is by sectors. So 224 kilometers.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. 221 is your average. Top
Mm,
speed is 224.5. That's
yeah.
crazy
Yeah.
for those little bikes.
Yeah.
Man.
No, no, honestly, I loved it out here. I think the track where you can get the top speed is in Portimao, to be honest. Portimao is top speed track. I think so.
Yeah, I mean
Or maybe in Barcelona.
I like little bikes, I like where like small displacement bikes because they don't go fast, right? And you
Yeah.
guys are just like killing it going super fast.
Totally
So,
opposite of what you'd think.
yeah, I would have never thought like they hit 200 mile or 200 kilometers per hour. Never.
Oh wow. Oh really?
I
Also,
didn't. I wouldn't have thought. What's an average
yeah,
like 250 like you know like my SV 650 when I raced it in Motor America it was going like 130 miles an hour, right? Like
which is
uh,
like 240, right? 250.
yeah, it's so 200 kilometers per hour is 124 miles per hour,
Oh,
right?
okay.
So essentially, you guys in the 250 are going as fast as I was in in a 650,
Yeah. Is a
which is
650 like a 600?
yeah. It was a
Wow.
twin, so it's like the SV 650 or the FZ07 MT07 over there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's crazy. Jesus.
Something to think
Anyways, well,
about. Something to think about.
yeah, for sure. That's cool. And then it's a smaller bike, so it probably does it feel super light when you're going that
Oh yeah.
fast? Like it's just
Yes,
like
it does.
this
I
entire
yeah.
suspension is unloaded. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I feel because sometimes I train with a CBR like 300,
Uh-huh.
Honda CBR 300, and there I can feel the weight. But on these bikes, like especially going from like a CBR to one of these bikes, you like it's so light. Like it's super like um agile, and one like wrong movement and the bike will like move like super
Yeah.
crazy.
Dang. That's crazy. That's still cool, man. That's phenomenal. That's awesome. Um, yeah, I would have never thought. I would have never thought. Anyways, so I think we're almost done. We're almost out of time. What anything
Okay.
else anything else you want to discuss or you want to like tell your fans?
You need to come out here in Europe and we need to do a half marathon together, I think.
Oh, dude, tell me yeah, I'm super down for that. Whenever you want to
We
do
need
it.
to.
Yeah, I'm down.
Cause
Yeah, I'm down to go down there and do a
yeah,
marathon. That sounds like awesome. Sounds like a lot of
or
fun.
actually I think I'm coming out to the US in a little bit. I
It's
don't really know.
it's yeah, it's gonna be next month in July. So
Next
we're
month,
so
so
we're
yeah,
yes,
we
so
have
we're
to go.
booking on
I think it
Monday.
has to.
On Monday, we're actually going to be booking the track venue for so you can do that racing clinic.
Yeah. Oh, okay, true, 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 true. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah,
Totally forgot about that.
yeah, so we're gonna do that. But yeah, if you want to run a half marathon when you're down here, like, let's
Yeah.
go.
I
You know?
I'm motivated to do it. I've been doing a lot of 5Ks and I kind of want to break that record of just doing 5K, 5K, 5. I want to do a little bit more kilometers, which obviously a half marathon is way more than 5 kilometers,
Yeah,
but I think it'd be a fun experience.
yeah, it would be a lot of fun. What's how many kilometers is a half marathon?
21 exactly.
21. You're right, because a full marathon is 42. Yeah.
42. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, dude, I'm down. Let's do it.
All right. Yeah.
So just tell me the time and I'll be there. Like it'll take us less than 2 hours for sure. The way you're
All right.
fast. So so we got this.
I
But
I'm
but I
fast,
still
but I always end at the limit. I always end at the limit. This is the thing. I long distance, I always run a little bit slower because I know I will not finish it if I'm at this like fast pace.
yeah. No, I'm like I'm slow, but once I get going, like I could just go forever, right? Like once I find my
Really,
rhythm and my speed, I could run. So the furthest I've ever ran was the ultra marathon. It was 50K. So
50 50
yeah,
kilometers.
yeah. So
No, no, I couldn't. Wow.
it took me a little bit over 5 hours. It was like 5 hours and 8 minutes or something like that. So
Wow. So I'm guessing you prefer like long runs, like
um,
stamina, like endurance,
well, so the thing
endurance
is, like
hard.
I'll do long runs, but like throughout like every day I run maybe about like I'll run maybe about 5K, you know.
Yeah,
Some
yeah,
sometimes I'll do like 2 or 3 kilometers or, whatever, whatever. I'll run for like 20, 30, 40 minutes sometimes, but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
nothing
Nothing
crazy.
crazy.
But yeah,
Yeah.
but if I sign up for a race, then I'll definitely, train for it and stuff and make sure I can finish it.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's the important part. I don't want to be actually if we're gonna do a half marathon out there, I don't want to be one of those guys who doesn't like who finishes like I don't know 9 kilometers in and I'm like totally dead. I'm
Yeah.
gonna train for it. I'm gonna
No,
start.
for sure.
Like I'm gonna start saying, all right, let's. Yeah,
And I'll pace you. I'll also like, I'll also carry the like nutrition and stuff. That way, when we're running, I'll
yeah,
be
yeah,
like, all right, it's time for nutrition. Let's get those goos
yeah,
in. Because that's the
yeah,
most important
yeah.
part for endurance, right? Is making sure
You
that you
think
stay
so?
fueled in
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, 100%. I've done races. I've done like, marathons or half marathons where I don't bring any food like fuel with me, right? Like I just run and I'm drinking water, and it
Yeah,
like, I die out. But then when I race and I have like goos and I have stuff to eat, then I'm like, oh, okay, like I feel better and I
you're
can
fine.
stay more
Yeah, better.
consistent. Yeah. So
Mm,
so
okay,
yeah, so let's do it.
okay. Yeah, I think
Anyways,
that's the plan. That's the plan. All
sweet.
right.
I'm excited for it now.
Thanks, man. Yeah. Oh, I am too. I'm gonna start training for it as well.
Let's go, man. All right, Christian.
All
Yeah, so
right,
we
man.
have that's kind of it. So, yeah, man, I'll see you next time. The next race isn't for until like next month or the end of this month. So you have a couple weeks off.
Yeah, it's long.
So,
Yeah, we have a couple weeks off. Yeah, yeah. So,
yeah, so make
all
sure
right,
you
man.
train for that. Make sure you train for that half
I
marathon, all
will.
right?
I will. I will. I'll keep training. I'll keep training.
All
Number
right,
one
man.
priority.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. All
I'll
right.
see you later, all right?
See you later, man.
All right, bye.
Better call Sai.